Load versus capacity. This is how and why every injury you've ever had happens outside of traumatic incidences like falling, tripping, getting hit by a car, things like that. We have load, which is stress, okay? Mental and physical stress load on your body. Over here, we have capacity. Every day you have a certain amount of capacity, mentally and physically, that you can deal with before something gives. This line represents your capacity. If you go above that line, pain, okay? Mental, physical pain, something just has to give once you start pushing over that capacity line. Stay under that line, no pain, rest, recovery, adaptation. That's where we're trying to operate. We have some different colored boxes here. The blue boxes represents past stresses. The day before, the week before, months, years before. That's all what's in the blue boxes. Green is your current stress, so that's kind of your daily stress. What you want to do and need to do on a daily basis. That's represented by the green boxes. Okay, so down here we have in the first box pre-existing conditions. So that could be things you're born with, that could be medical conditions, that could be past surgeries, past injuries, maybe you have steel rods in your body, maybe you have limbs longer than the other. Those can't really be fixed, or at least not in the scope of what we're talking about here. Above that, we have your functional diagnosis. So your functional diagnosis is your flexibility, mobility, and strength balance, as well as your recovery to whatever you're doing. What we're looking for there is your flexibility. So that's going to be the passive range of your joint. So I can passively push my finger this far back. Okay. Mobility is your active range in that joint. So I can actively hold my finger this far back. That's true for every joint in your body. You have a passive range of motion, flexibility, and then you have your active range of motion, mobility. And then strength balance. You can think of that as your joints have muscles pulling on either side of them. And your muscles are basically like rubber bands. And so if one side of the rubber band is pulling harder than the other rubber bands, that joint starts to have to compensate for that strength imbalance you have, which over time will lead to pain and injury because of how much compensation you have to do, which bleeds into every daily task you do. Your functional diagnosis: stress, diet, and sleep. Okay, so your daily habits dictate what that is. Whether you're thinking about it or not, you have to sleep, you have to eat, and you're managing your stress in some way, shape, or form. There's positive ways to go about that and negative ways to go about that. Above that, we have your daily needs and wants. So your current stress, your daily stress, home life, family, kids, pets, chores, errands, house stuff, just your personal life. Work, okay, whether you have a sedentary job or a very active job, whether you love your job or hate your job, all of those can dictate how much stress your work causes for you. And then above that, something that is one of the most important things to do for yourself to improve your health is your fitness. But typically we have to take care of all of this stuff first, or at least consider all of the stress that this causes, and then you put your fitness on top of that. And unfortunately, that's where a lot of pushing yourself over the edge happens, because fitness, working out, exercising, being active is the most intentional stress you'll put on your body, even though it feels like a mental stress relief. Okay, it's very important, but it does cause stress to your body. So when you're operating in this high stress environment and you go to work out, and then that ache or pain comes back from your previous injuries, or a new one pops up, maybe you go running and your feet hurt, or your knees start to ache, or your back hurts, or you do that workout that has deadlifts in it and your back hurts again, or you go overhead with some shoulder stuff and the intensity is a little higher than it should be that day, and you push yourself really hard, and then that shoulder ache comes back. Okay, if you keep pushing yourself over that capacity line day after day after day without giving yourself time to recover and adapt to it, that's where pain comes in. That's the warning sign. Okay, pain is a clear check engine light that comes on that, like, hey, something needs to change. And then eventually, if you ignore that and the other signs that happened before that pain was even there, that's where injury comes in. If we take this load that pushes you over capacity line and pay attention to the things we're in control of, the functional diagnosis, working with a coach who specializes in identifying your areas that need improvement and how to improve them, and then your stress, diet, and sleep, whether you take that on yourself or hire a coach who can help you with the season of life you're in and the challenges that you have to improve your sleep habits, to improve your diet and nutrition habits, and then to improve how you deal with stress in positive ways. Okay, it's real easy to go on Google and just look up how do I improve those things, but applying it to your life, that's where coaches come in. Okay, we're specialized in helping you apply that to your life so that you can see positive changes and coach you through it. Those boxes we're in control of, and those get much smaller once they're addressed. And that doesn't happen in 3 days, 3 weeks, or even sometimes 3 months. Positive changes happen instantly when you start making changes, but chances are this happened over a long period of time. So this is going to take time and consistency, effort, and honesty with yourself to improve those areas. And then your home, work, and fitness, if those don't change, you still have all of this room to do the things that you want to do, and you recover from them. And over time, as you push yourself towards your capacity and recover, push towards your capacity and recover, your capacity goes up and you have more room to do the things you want to do without pain, without injury, and possibly even recover from the ones you already have. So if you understand this, you'll understand how to stay in control of any injury that ever happens, start listening to the warning signs, and enjoy overall better quality of life. This is your load versus capacity.